Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Phantom again, coming at you with another comic book haul. Second one in 2 months, man. I'm on a roll. Um, how y'all doing today, by the way? It's a great, gorgeous day here. Nothing but sunshine and not too hot as compared to what the rest of summer was. um, but yeah, let's get on to it. I have a lot of books to get through, and just have a lot of stuff on my mind as recently. I know I did a commentary yesterday about being frustrated with Modern Warfare 3 and the little crap show that has transpired with. But yeah, that's that's how do I say that's the least of my things as of now. But on to it, we got Marvel Special Edition issue number 16. This is the second appearance of Shang-Chi, and it is the first appearance of Midnight, I believe. You can fact check me on that. Yeah, I did show a Marvel Special Edition issue 15 in the last comic book haul. I went to my regular comic book shop, and next thing you know, he has this up there. So I was like, "How much you want for it?" And now next thing you know, I just sort of took it from him. Well, not took it, but bought it from him, and I don't want to make myself seem like a thief. Oh no, can't have that. um, so yeah, Shang-Chi is just one of those characters I'm probably gonna, just collect here and there. I don't think he has a lot of keys. I think I pretty much covered them, to be honest. But I like this. I somewhat enjoyed his movie, so why not collect some of his keys? So yeah, that's Marvel Special Edition issue 16. Um, what else do we have here? Oh, I uh, came in about 10 years late on this key, but this is Iron Man number 305. This is the first full appearance of the Hulkbuster armor. And the reason why I say this, I'm 10 years late on this, is because the Avengers Age of Ultron movie has already passed almost, give or take, 8 years ago. I think that was the movie that had the Hulkbuster armor. If I'm not mistaken, it was either that or Civil War. Actually, no, it had to be Age of Ultron because Hulk wasn't in Civil War. But nonetheless, this is a pretty minor key as of now, so it's not really worth anything. I just found it in the dollar bin, so I just figured why not get it. But yeah, that's the first full appearance of the Hulkbuster armor. What else we got? I'm not just about Marvel today. I got some DC as well. Another book I found in the dollar bin. This is Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, number 24. This is the first appearance of a character called Blue Devil, who I don't even know if it's a major book or not. I just sort of got it in the dollar bin. I remember a few other key comic collectors, guys on YouTube, had this book up, and I just noticed it. I was like, oh, wait a second, this is a book that everybody else has been having. So I was like, I found it in a dollar bin. Just pick it up. Why not? But how are y'all doing? Um, I don't think uh, I've been going to see some DC or Marvel movies lately. I know I skipped out on Blue Beetle, and I probably will skip out on Captain Marvel. I might go and see Aquaman 2, but the whole DC Marvel movies have been just so bland lately. I just don't have any motivation to sort of go to these movies anymore. But yeah, we have Iron Man King Size Special number one. Well, I don't even think there's anything significant about this book, but I found this in the dollar bin, so why not? Um, I know what to do with this book, actually. If you've made it this far, um, I will give this book away. Just what you'll do, I'll do it like a little contest. I know I haven't seen a contest on YouTube in a while. Um, Nothing significant about this book at all, but I did figure why not run a contest. I'll probably give this book away plus a few others in a secret grab bag. If you made it this far, create a video on YouTube and tag me in it, and just go over your favorite comic books, your top 10 comic books in your collection. Doesn't have to be keys, um, but yeah, just make sure to make a video on that, your top 10 comic books in your collection. Um, and then just remember to tag me in it, and then I'll within like the next 15 day 2 to 3 weeks, I'll just randomly pick a winner, and I'll just message you with the information about how to get this book. Nothing significant, like I said. An Invincible Iron Man king size special #1. So yeah, go through it with that. What else do we have here? Some Amazing Spider-Man 1314. This is a Todd McFarlane issue. I love myself some Todd McFarlane Spider-Man. One of the best Spider-Man artists to ever live. He can draw a Peter Parker and a Mary Jane behind with his hands tied behind his back. So he was really good at doing that. Plus his Venom, his original look of Venom, such a classic. And to say this as well, this is a Christmas story as well, which I really like. I really like the comic books that sort of do the Christmas themes. It's just very comforting. So I really wanted to get this issue. So yeah, this is Amazing Spider-Man 314. But like I said earlier, the Marvel and DC stuff hasn't been really sort of kicking it as of late for me. I've been more so like on the fence about sort of going out to see these movies, spending my hard-earned money to like do the same thing over and over again. It's like, I don't want to go to any of these movies anymore. Although I've heard Blue Beetle is pretty good, I still don't want to really risk sort of doing it. I'll probably just buy it or rent it out once the price for it goes down to like $3.99 for rent on Amazon Prime Video. Or I'll even wait for it to get on Max. Well, actually, I don't have Max anymore. I canceled my Max subscription. Along with I'm pretty sure everybody else did as well once they started selling off the rights of their DC shows to places like Netflix and Hulu. I know the Justice League cartoons and whatnot are on Netflix right now. So yeah. What do we have here? Action Comics 645. This is the first appearance of Maxima. Very minor character. Again, this is a dollar bin fine. But I did like her character in Superman the Animated Series. So I remembered it, and I just got it. So nothing significant, like I said, just a good old book, Superman book. Because Superman honestly doesn't really have a lot of keys past the Silver Age. Really, majority of his keys is in the Golden Age. So I want to collect Superman comics more, but it's like majority of his issues aren't even keys. You have sort of like your Golden Age keys, which is what majority of his villains and his majority of his keys came out from, because Toyman, Lex Luthor, and all of his other classic Mr. Mxyzptlk, all of his other classic villains debuted in the Golden Age. And then his next tier villains and co-characters like Supergirl and Metallo and whatnot, they debuted in the early Silver Age. So we're talking about most of his characters came between 1938 and 1960. So those comic books are very hard to obtain, and it's really hard trying to find Superman keys. Now, besides that, there is a few Superman keys that you can get for a reasonable price, such as the first appearance of Parasite, the first appearance of Vixen, first appearance of Silver Banshee, Manchester Black and the Elites, first Livewire. You can get those at pretty reasonable prices, but once you start going back beyond that, like first Metallo and Supergirl, that's going to run you about $1,500. Go back even further than that, whereas Bizarro, that's going to run you, probably around near $1,000, $500 to $1,000, etc. So the keys, Legion of Superheroes as well. So that's going to run you about about $1,000 as well, which I don't get because Legion of Superheroes is not a popular group to begin with, but hey, that's just me. I don't know where the supply and demand is really coming in terms of that, but got Punisher #1 here, first solo series of the Punisher. Nothing to say about this. It's a relatively minor key. This book will probably run about $50 in a high grade ungraded copy. So yeah, this is the Punisher #1, first solo series of the Punisher. Technically, the first solo, what's the word I'm looking for? The first solo story of the Punisher was, I think it was in Marvel Preview. But you know, I haven't had that yet, and I don't have the bag and boards to hold those magazines either. So yeah, and this is the second issue. This is a relatively, it's not really anything, but yeah, I love these Punisher covers though. These 5-issue limited series. Uh, Actually, now that I'm noticing something, wait a second. Anybody else notice that? It says a 4-issue limited series here, and then it says 5-issue on here. I'm just now noticing that. Well, I guess no harm, no nothing, I guess. I guess Marvel just sort of thought people wouldn't recognize that. I really sure didn't recognize that until I noticed it here. But we have Incredible Hulk #105. This is nothing significant about this book. It's just the classic Silver Age cover. I really love the cover on this book, which is why I had to have it and had to pick it up. It's a decent copy, I guess. I would say it's about 5 to 6 maybe. In my expertise of grading, I would say that's around a 5 to 6. But if y'all want to sort of disagree with me, you can do so in the comment section. Best believe it. So yeah, there's nothing significant about this book. One thing what I did want to say is it seems like the older I get, the more I realize how good Marvel is. You know, back in the day when I was a kid, I used to like DC more. Sorry, I'm just popping my knuckles as well. I used to like DC more back in the day because I grew up on the DC cartoons. Batman the animated series, Batman Beyond, etc. But the more I get older, the more I love collecting Marvel more, and the more I like reading Marvel a lot more than I like reading DC. Like, for example, right now I'm reading the new Daredevil series that came out a couple months ago. I've really been enjoying that, even though I never read the issue previous to that, so I don't know what was going on. But on the writing that they were giving based on that one issue alone, I really enjoyed that issue on what they have to put Daredevil into a new path forward. So yeah, I've been really enjoying Marvel as of late, except for Zeb Wells' Spider-Man run. That is god awful. But everything else that I've read from them has been pretty solid, and I'm starting to love collecting them more as well. Not only because their keys are more affordable, but they also have better covers than DC majority of the time. The only time I would say DC competes with them is in some of the Bronze Age issues, mostly the Batman issues, and the Detective Comics issues. That Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil Batman run was really good. I think out of that though, and maybe a few other issues, I think Marvel has better stories and better covers in terms of those older issues. But if you want to disagree with me, that is your opinion. Just let me know down in the comment section down below. What else do we have here? I know I said last video, comic book haul video, that I completed my sort of symbiote Spider-Man run. I was wrong. This is actually one of the things that I needed, because I was doing research, and apparently this issue, Spectacular Spider-Man #90, actually came out on the same month, if not the same day, as Marvel Team Up 141 and Amazing Spider-Man 252, if I'm not recalling. So yeah, this is technically a first appearance of the black costume, because they were published in such a short gap. Me personally, I will always like 252, Amazing Spider-Man 252. That's sort of my go-to book when it comes to the first appearance of the black costume, mainly because of the cover. I'm just going to be honest here. We as collectors love the covers, and we will designate our key issues based on the cover, just like the sort of the debate between Amazing Spider-Man 300 and 299, or the debate between Hulk 180 and 181, or Conan 23 and Conan 24. We always have these conversations based on the cover, and whatever cover is going to be better tends to be, the comic book that everybody goes for. Hulk 181 is the prime example. They consider that the first appearance of Wolverine when it's not. It's not even the first cameo or full appearance, because his full appearance is in 180 technically. Marvel recognizes it and everybody else recognizes it, but the fans don't, because the cover on 181 is so much better. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. But this is a really nice high grade copy of this book, as you would expect from a late bronze, early copper age book. So yeah, there's that. And speaking of Conan 23, here is Conan 23. See what I did there? First appearance of Red Sonja herself. I don't know why in God's green earth do people call Conan 24 the first full appearance of Red Sonja, because it is not. If you ever read this issue, and I did, literally once I got it, I read the issue. She is in a total of 7 pages in this book. 7 pages, and the audacity of eBay flippers and comic book vendors that are trying to sort of pose Conan 24 as the first full appearance of Red Sonja to sort of get a quick buck out of people is sort of disgusting. If you want to call it her first cover appearance, be my guest. I mean, I don't really care about that. But the fact that you're calling it the first full appearance when she appears in 7 pages in this issue is downright insulting, and that is an insult to the comic book community. And I don't know what else to say about that, but that is just really shady how they would, sort of do something like that. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. If you have a different opinion, you can, like I said, leave it in the comments section below. But yeah, this is definitely one of the books that I've been trying to get for a while now. It's not something that I really wanted, but I liked Red Sonja as a character more than I actually liked Conan the Barbarian himself. I'm really happy to have this book. My local comic shop just sort of had it, and I was like, hey, you know what, let me see it. What's the grade of it and whatnot? They actually did have a 24 as well, but the grade on it was so low. Like, it was like a good chunk of the back cover was missing. There was water damage. The cover was almost detached. The staples were rusted, and they had the audacity to charge $70 for it. That's probably because they have a couple of new employees. There's this one 18-year-old, I guess, that works there, uh, been there for a while, and then I guess they just kind of price it without actually looking at the book. And that's something that I've learned from them a couple of times, is always look at your books before you buy it, because if you don't, they might screw you over, because there was no sticky notes or nothing that listed the condition of the book on the sort of Mylar, and they just put on a flat $70 for it. And it wasn't until I took it out of the bag I was like, oh, this is too low grade. She was like, oh, I might be able to go down to 30, and I was like, no, that's still too high for a book in that condition. So yeah, really happy to have this book. First appearance of Red Sonja, and decent grade, I would say. Maybe maybe a 4.5 to a 5. Mainly this spot right here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but the Mylite 2 does a really good job at hiding comic book defects. And I would really recommend, if you're a collector out there, to always go with the Mylite 2, because the Mylite 2 is going to hide almost unless it's like something major, some major damage, major damage, it's going to do a fantastic job at hiding some of the defects. What do we have here? Amazing Spider-Man 149. This is the first appearance of the Spider Clone. If you want to call it Ben Riley, I don't care. But yeah, nothing too significant. I mean, this book is starting to heat up just a little bit. But I will say this is, still a relatively minor key. I'm still working on collecting primarily Spider-Man. Um, my goal is to get sort of the first 200 issues of Spider-Man. I don't know if I should work from bottom to top or top to bottom. Um, I realized out of all the comic books I spent on this year, I could have bought an Amazing Spider-Man #1 in low grade. So I might, honestly, I might think about like sort of stopping the buying altogether just for a few months and sort of save for an Amazing Spider-Man #1 just to sort of knock that out of the water as my as one of my main comic books, because really my main two comic books that I want to get for my collection for me to be happy for a personal collection is Amazing Spider-Man #1 and Amazing Fantasy 15. Now, Amazing Fantasy 15 is probably going to be out of reach within the next 5 years. I mean, it's still a $20,000 book that's semi-reachable compared to a book like Detective Comics 27 or Action Comics #1. But to be honest, I still think Amazing Fantasy 15 is overvalued. That's just my opinion. Because of, I know nobody's coming out of their way to buy this book just because of their Spider-Man issues. I mean, excuse me, nobody's coming out of their way to buy the first appearance of Spider-Man for such and such amount of money when it's, just because there's a new movie of Spider-Man out. There's been plenty of movies of Spider-Man out before. My problem is when it comes to this is that Amazing Fantasy 15 used to be a $5,000 to $10,000 book 10 years ago. And now after the Spider-Man movies are done and after COVID, now it's a $20,000 to $30,000 book. In the lowest grade you can possibly get of this book, which is 1.0, I think that's still going to run you about 12 to 15,000. If you want a coverless copy of the book, it's probably going to run you to, I want to say about maybe 8 to 10,000. That's just my guess, but yeah, I want to eventually collect all the Spider-Man issues. Spider-Man is still my favorite character to collect in terms of comics. I love, picking out, Spider-Man issues. So yeah, very happy to have this. What else do we have? Oh, this is nice. So this is actually my first Golden Age book. This is the first Golden Age book I have ever owned, like literally ever owned. And this is nothing significant at all. There's no significance of this book whatsoever. It's just a classic horror, Golden Age horror EC comic. This is The Haunt of Fear #15. Like I said, there's nothing special about this book at all. It's just with Golden Age books, they're so rare, especially a lot of them are rare in good condition. And they go for a pretty penny in good condition, and that's I want to start collecting Golden Age books more. Like I said, I just want to knock out my important issues first, mainly the Spider-Man issues, and hopefully I can start getting into the Spider-Man stuff pretty soon because I really want to finish that. So yeah, The Haunts of Fear, issue 15. So happy to have this Golden Age horror story book. I haven't read it yet. I did flip through it the other night. I just didn't, fully read it. I'll probably take it out of the bag and board and read it again. One thing I noticed about these Golden Age, the paper inside the Golden Age is really, really flimsy. I can tell why these things got so damaged so easily is because these things were so flimsy. Flipping through that thing last night, I thought I was going to freaking break the comic. But you do have some sun tanning there, a little bit of spine roll, a little bit of dirt on the spine roll. Got a little chunk, a small little piece torn out of there. have some writing on the cover and whatnot. But all in all, a pretty solid copy. I would say maybe like a 3.5 um, of a Golden Age book. I'm pretty sure this would come back as a 3 or a 3.5. What would y'all say? But yeah, I'm really happy to have this book. Like I said, Golden Age is something I want to start collecting more, and I'm glad I was there at my local comic book shop to sort of get this to kickstart my Golden Age collection. So yeah, one thing I did not be aware of is the fact that these Golden Age books are much bigger than the Silver and Bronze Age books, so I wasn't able to fit it inside my short box. So that is a work in progress. What do we have here? Cyblade She #1. I believe this is the first appearance of Witchblade. I found it in a dollar bin. So if somebody wants to fact check for that for me, I don't know if it was Witchblade #1 or this issue that she first appeared in. But yeah, if it is, then hey, I got a first appearance of Witchblade in the dollar bin. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, I guess. Oh, look at you. This is now my oldest Spider-Man issue. This is Amazing Spider-Man issue 3. First appearance of Dr. Octopus, Dr. Otto Octavius. And I was determined to get a single digit issue Spider-Man. Especially after going through back all of my YouTube videos, especially on my older channel, and realizing I had so many Spider-Man keys. I had like an Amazing Spider-Man #5. I mean, the cover was detached, but back then the Spider-Man keys weren't worth nearly as what they're worth now. I had a Spider-Man #5. I had a first Morbius. I had a first Prowler. I had a lot of Spider-Man issues, and I sold them all. And going back to that now, the only Spider-Man issue I didn't sell was the first Green Goblin, and I'm so happy I didn't sell that. Going back, looking at that now, I'm just saying, what was I thinking? But then again, back then I was in high school and in college, so I sort of desperately needed the money. So that's probably the reason why I sold them. I don't know the specific reasons of why I sold them, but I know I was in high school and college back then and made some stupid decisions. So I think I probably sold them just to get the money, which is unfortunate. But I will for certain get all of those issues back, and I plan to do it swiftly and quickly. But yeah, Doctor Octopus is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. He's technically one of the big three Spider-Man villains, being Venom, Doc Ock, and Green Goblin. Spider-Man doesn't have one archenemy; he has three. Whereas Superman has Lex Luthor and Batman has Joker. Spider-Man has three archenemies. So I have all three of them now. Technically, I don't, because I still don't have Amazing Spider-Man 299, which is technically the first appearance of Venom. But if you go by the average collector, he's going to say 300 anyway. So I don't make the rules. You guys make the rules. But yeah, this is missing the back cover. I was perfectly okay with that, because my thought process was, if this book goes down in value and the comic book market just tanks, what I'll do is just keep this issue and just upgrade later to a one that has the back cover. But all the interiors are complete. The cover presents really well. It's just the back cover that's missing. But like I said before, if the comic book market does crash soon, which I don't know if it will or not, probably might will, depending on, because of how bad the movies and TV shows are going. But if it does, I'll just upgrade. Amazing Spider-Man 361, first appearance of Carnage, or full appearance of Carnage, because technically Carnage appeared, and well, actually no, Carnage was a cameo in 360. He wasn't actually fully appeared, so I'll consider this the first appearance of Carnage. I used to have this book back in the day, but the one difference between this book and all the rest of the Amazing Spider-Man 361s I have is a lot of the Amazing Spider-Man 361s come with two factory defects. Firstly is the spine roll. The spine roll in this bottom section will be rolled over to the back cover, So you'll see a lot of the back cover on the front cover. This does not have that, and it also does not have the rip right down here where a lot of those ASM 361s were nicked during the factory process. So, and it's also a direct edition too, so that just adds more value. My last one was a newsstand, I believe. So I really am happy with this all in all. So I mean, it's not a 10.0 first appearance of Carnage, but still, it's really high up there in my opinion. So yeah, I'm enjoying. I really like this issue. So it really has devalued a lot, though, I will say, after that terrible movie by Sony. But yeah, I'm just happy to have another first appearance of Carnage. What else do we have here? Oh yes, Amazing Spider-Man number 301. This is the issue after 300. Nothing significant about this book. It's just a really great cover. It does have a little bit of spine roll. I think you can see a little bit of the black from the back cover, but I'm okay with that. It's fine. It's not too obvious compared to some other comic books that have a major spine roll. I had to have this book. I really like the cover, so it's basically the same as ASM 300. One thing I really wish it would have had was just the 301 logo in the background, just like he did with 300. But hey, I'm not complaining. Still is a great cover. So yeah, nothing significant, but happy to have it. What else do we have here? Back to some DC. Haven't been collecting DC as of late, but Detective Comics issue 410. This is actually another series that I want to start collect. I want to collect Detective Comics 400 all the way to all the way to like 430 something, 34, 36, I believe. I think that's majority of the Neal Adams, Denny O'Neil run. That sort of start with Man Bat, the 400th anniversary issue, and it just sort of debuts all those classic covers and has some villain appearances as well. And I also want to collect like Batman 221 all the way to Batman 253 as well. The Batman covers aren't as good because there is some gaps in between those great covers like the 277 and the 232 where you have bad covers, really bad covers. But the Detective Comics run, always all of their cover, most of, if not 99% of their covers in between those numbers were really good. So I want to collect those, and I also want to get a higher grade copy of Detective Comics 359. Then I want to get the first Poison Ivy, etc. But it all just depends on if I decide to save up for that Amazing Spider-Man number 1 or not. That will be determined in the near future. But yeah, happy to have it. What else do we got? Oh yeah, sticking on Batman, Detective Comics, we have an issue 413. Really good cover, really good Neal Adams cover. Neal Adams is a great artist, second to none. Y'all already know that, so I'm not going to sort of judge it. But yeah, this is just, I just want to start collecting those Detective Comics issues with Denny O'Neil and Neal Adams. So yeah, this is 2 down. Well, actually, I have about 4 issues of those numbered runs. So I guess about 40 or 50 more to go. Probably doing my math wrong, but whatever. But I have these 2, and then I have the first appearance of Talia al Ghul. I had issue 405, but I sold that because I want to get a higher grade copy of it. So I probably won't re-get that in a while. But yeah, to say the least, I'm going to start working on these issues. What else do we have? Last book of the day. We have Invincible Iron Man number 1. This is the first solo series of Iron Man. And yeah, this is actually a really low grade copy. It may not look like it from the get-go, but like I said, the Mylight does a really good job at hiding everything from a distance. You got a nick there, got some creases there, got some spine ticks there, and also there's a page, I think page 3, where the page is completely split in half. I mean, the full page is there, it's just split in half. So I will probably end up selling this in order to get a another key issue, or just to put in an account to sort of save for the Amazing Spider-Man #1. But I wasn't gonna pass up the opportunity to own this book for a short period of time, especially when I know I could probably get more than what I paid for it. I mean, I paid $100 for it. I saw the last zero point 0.5 condition Iron Man comic sold for on eBay for $250. So if you want to put this at a zero point 0.5, you can try your look at 200, so that's double profit. Um, or if you want to put it at a 1.0, which I would put it at because it's technically complete, um, you can put it at about $50 higher than that. So yeah, I mean I really like the cover of this issue. That's about it. Not the biggest Iron Man fan, as y'all can tell. Um, I think Robert Downey Jr. gives that character a lot more than what that character has to go for, because he has terrible villains. I mean, even the Mandarin is pretty iffy. I mean, you have guys like Whiplash. Are you kidding me? Um, he doesn't have the villains. His Silver Age, his solo series Silver Age books are the covers to those books are terrible compared to what other Marvel teams were putting out at the time, like Silver Surfer and Amazing Spider-Man. Submariner was even better than what Iron Man had to offer. So, yeah, Iron Man solo series wasn't that good to me, but hey, it's Iron Man #1. Um, going to be happy with it. So yeah. If y'all have any questions about the contest, just leave them down in the comment section below. I really hope you all enjoyed the haul. Until next time, guys, it's your boy, been your boy Phantom. Peace.